welcome to our spoiler review of The Bronze Key by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. Oh my god, we've gotten through 3 years of this.
Don't say that.
I mean, I think the only series that we've been following so consistently is Morgan Rhodes's
Fallen Kingdoms.
Yeah. Lots happens in this book, and it's surprisingly short. Like, you're reading it and you're like, oh my god, it's almost over. So basically, Call and his friends are being honored for cutting the head off the enemy of Depp's corpse, and you know, they're at this big award ceremony and they're enjoying themselves, and then Call wanders off and nearly gets assassinated, and then a girl turns up dead, and they're like, shit, somebody is trying to kill Call, definitely, and possibly Aaron as well. Somebody's gonna kill our makers. A new character that also gets introduced is Anastasia Tarquin, who is Alex Shrike's mother, or stepmother, sorry, and on the assembly, so she's pretty powerful.
Likes the color white a lot. Like,
a lot.
A lot.
And she shows up and she ends up getting assigned to the school because they're on this big, like, clean up the chaos-ridden animals initiative. And so she's supposed to be heading that off. But also might be possibly trying to kill Call.
Because everyone is a suspect. Well, everyone but Tamara. Tamara, like, has a getaway free card with this. But, like, oh, is Aaron just jealous?
I've taken his place and he's no longer special and blah, 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 blah. So Aaron's a suspect. Jasper points the finger at Celia. Jasper's just a suspect because Jasper's a dick. Rumors flying everywhere. Call is trying to deal with his crush on Celia. He just, like, does not acknowledge it, so she, like, gives up on him, starts dating Jasper, which creates some, like, cute awkwardness because all they do is just attach themselves to each other, and everybody's just like, oh, that's gross. Can you stop this?
Like, their one roommate is just like, can I move in with you guys? And then, like, the roommate realizes that Jasper comes over all the time, and she's like, ugh, and just, like, leaves. And I'm just like, that's cute. Master Rufus kind of starts getting a little suspicious, because it's like he's starting to figure out that there's something up with Cal that Cal has not told him. Slow descent into angst.
Yeah, because, like, you know, Call is trying to figure out, like, how much he's responsible for because he's got the soul of Constantine Madden, the enemy of death, so he's like, am I responsible for all the shit he did, or am I just me, and am I starting to become him? Like, he's just like, oh.
And, like, he's a little nervous about learning about chaos magic because he's like, oh no, this is about when he started doing really crazy stuff. Like, what if I start doing crazy stuff? And what if it's tempting? And blah, blah, blah.
Like, it doesn't feel ridiculous.
No.
I feel for you.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Yeah. Aaron is showing a bit of anger issues, which is totally interesting. He's never, like, throws a tantrum, but you can kind of tell he's, like, simmering under the surface. I read somebody online who's like, I think Aaron is in love with Call, and this was after I read the book, and I'm like, is he?
I was on Tumblr and someone had reblogged your post and I like clicked on their thing because I'm like crazy like that and I'm like, who reblogs our stuff? They had posted a theory that Aaron was gay and I'm just like, okay, I'm about two-thirds the way through the book, and so I started kind of like reading it from that perspective, and it works. Like,
yeah,
I could totally completely believe it because Aaron always gets weird and more angry when Call shows any attention towards Celia.
He's like, yeah,
he's very on the Celia's the bad guy train, and I'm just like,
okay.
It could be that, you know, he's dealing with his emotions and he doesn't know how to, like, share them, so it could manifest as anger. Like, that was the thing I did when I was a kid and I didn't understand something.
Now that you're thinking, I'm like, I guess I could see that. Like, it's not, I did not pick up on that at all, but I was like, okay.
It's just an interesting reading on it.
And now we'll never know.
No. 'Cause guess what?
Aaron dies!
Oh my god.
Okay, before we talk about anything else, let's just discuss the elephant in the room, which was that magnificent and heartbreaking ending. Basically, after all these assassinations on Call's life, which people somehow don't manage to stop, it turns out that the person who was trying to assassinate Call was Alex Shrike. Dun, dun, dun. You know, I started to suspect him just because his name was popping up all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy just
like the moment he shows up and he's just like, Tamara's been kidnapped, and
I was like,
no, she hasn't.
I knew that from like way before that too. I'm just like, he's just always around and he never does anything significant, so it's this guy. It
wasn't exactly Aaron's death that, like, that was painful, but that wasn't what, like, kicked my heart too much. It was what happened right after when Call was just like, it should have been me. I should have died. And Tamara's like, yes, it should have been you.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
I'm just like, whoa! Cards are on the table.
Just holy. I thought we were friends. Like, calm the shit down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that like hurt.
Yeah.
And, you know, Cole obviously doesn't get a chance to talk to Tamara after that. He blames himself. He's like kicking himself. He like wishes he had died in Aaron's place. And then, of course, it all comes out that he is the reincarnated person of the enemy of death, and then they throw him in mage jail. And then he's sitting there in mage jail, and like time is just going by. You have no idea how much time. He's just sitting there alone. Nobody comes to talk to him. And then up comes Anastasia Tarquin, and she's like, yeah, it's not my real name. I am actually the mother of Constantine Madden and Jericho Madden.
I'm gonna help you out, kid. And I just like, I had flashbacks to Rat Queens.
Yeah.
Where Hannah's in jail and she's sitting there in like this completely like white void and like the demon comes back. It's like, I'll help you. I'm just like, oh no.
Oh, this is not good.
Deal with the devil.
So, I mean, like, they did a really good job of playing up on the motions of the end scene. And not only is Aaron just freaking dead because Alex Shrike hits him with the Alcahest, but Alex Shrike manages to steal his chaos powers.
Yep.
He now has chaos powers, and we now have the new enemy that we have to face down.
I just feel so bad for him because, you know, he's been thrown in jail, his friend is dead, he hasn't heard from anyone else, his father hasn't come see him, and he's just isolated, and he has no idea what's happening on the outside, and I'm just like, oh baby.
God, you poor thing.
Baby, this is what turns you into a villain.
Oh.
You know?
I don't think he's gonna turn into a villain, though. I think he's gonna fight down Alex Shrike because he's way more of a villain.
But he could be like, I will have my revenge and I will take over and be the biggest, baddest bitch and I will bring Aaron back to life. Because like they're mirroring that like the language that he's using all the time to describe. It's just like, I finally understand why Constantine did what he did, because, you know, like to have like his like second like ripped out of him and gone forever and just gone and just how painful that is and like
But I think he's going to like learn how to like understand it like truly, and then he's going to decide to not, because that's the whole difference between the two of them, is that Call can understand it, but it's what he chooses that's going to set him apart, right?
There's so many ways this could go. And I mean, it could go in a completely different direction because like this is like such a like a turn.
I know you expected Tamara to kick the bucket instead, but I was like, nah, they're just gonna fuck with us and it'll be Aaron.
Forget what the last part of the prophecy is, where it's like one will die, one is already dead, and
one will fail. I don't know what.
Well, it could be that she failed to save Aaron.
It's true. She didn't really try. She pulled Call out of the way, and then Aaron. She didn't have time to try and fail to save Aaron. Yeah. Just like you felt it, and you're like, where's the next book now? But I mean, things that happen in the middle of the book were really good too. I kind of liked their assassination attempt, like the one where they're going through this trial and Alex Shrike, I guess, puts a hole in Call's water bottle, and the water is like, I guess, the key to getting through this giant fire maze. So Call creates this chaos void to suck out all the air for the fire and nearly like suffocates everyone. I was like, this is fun.
And I just like how his reaction is like, no, look, I have no water.
They're always like, what are you doing? You're being so evil. And he's like, listen, what do you think Tamara's deal is with Aaron and Call?
Well, we know she's into him, or was into him. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that one line just kind of like changes everything for me. Like, you don't know if like, oh my god, she's racked with guilt that she said that to him because, you know, it was a spur of the moment, like heat of the moment thing, or like if she actually believes that, or if she's trying to get him out, or if she's fighting for him, or if she's like cut him off completely. Yeah. You don't know. So it could go any way.
She also has this deal with her sister, which was really interesting. It'll probably come back into play later. But what happens is they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they're doing one of the stupid things that they do. And they're like, let's go talk to the elementals. We just had to break into this like secure prison, but yeah, no, let's do it anyway. So they get down there and they end up finding Tamara's devoured sister like locked in this prison, and she just kind of like has a small breakdown, and she's like, I thought that she was frolicking in a volcano somewhere. Nobody told me that she is locked up in this prison. Should we free her? Should we not? Like, this is insane. I don't know what to do. And so she's kind of dealing with it in the background, and she never comes to a decision, so it'll definitely come back into play later, but kind of like that little character arc. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's my favorite one so far.
I think the first one's my favorite.
Kind of simple.
I don't know. I just liked it. It was so innocent.
Yeah, it really was. The second, like, they're all really good.
What I think I like the most about this series is that, you know, it's 9 to 12. It's for a younger audience, but it doesn't really pull its punches.
No, and it doesn't talk down to you either.
Which I think is the biggest similarity between it and Harry Potter.
Or at least the early Harry Potters.
Where it's not like...
It's mostly just like simpler language.
So if you haven't read it, read it. Do it. Do it. Start at the beginning.
And tell us what you think, guys. And we will see you next year with the next book.